Hey guys, my name is Neel and welcome to Neel Workshop Zone. So it's been a really long time since I made a video like this, in front of the blackboard and explain something. So today we're going to talk about chemistry. But before I say that, when I was a kid I learned about the periodic table elements. So let's see if I still remember that. Hydrogen, helium, nitrogen, helium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, fluorinium, sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium, scandium, titanium, chromium, manganese, iron, copper, nickel, copper, zinc. Starting in 8 seconds. Anyways, so let's talk about chemistry. So if you know about chemistry, you must have heard of the periodic table elements. So we're going to talk about the periodic table of elements. But before we talk about it, let's learn about some basic terminologies that you need to know before going a little deep into chemistry. First, we have an atom or an element. Now, both of these are same words for, both of these are, the same concept. So, atom or elements mean a small tiny particle that is unaided to the visible eye. So, for example, like I just now said, 30 elements in a row, hydrogen, helium, all of those are examples of atoms. Now, there is a form of atoms, they say atomic forms. So, atomic form means atomic form means the way the chemical is represented. So, for example, the atomic form of hydrogen is H. The atomic form for oxygen is O, helium, He, etc. So that is an atom or an element, and that is also what is called an atomic form. Okay, so now let's talk about a molecule or a compound. So a molecule or a compound is atoms which are more than two. So for example, if you have two atoms, they are called molecule or compounds. And now molecule and compounds are a little different. I'll talk about that now. But first let's talk about molecule. So for example, if you're asking then what is the molecule of hydrogen, it is H2 or O2. It means there are more than one atom over there. So now you might be thinking, okay, then what is the compound? So a compound means that if a molecule is a solid, then the molecule is also called as a compound. So for example, there are some metals like iron, steel or gold. They are known as compounds instead of molecules. So if you didn't understand what I said, so molecules molecules include solids, liquids and gases. Compound only includes solids. So all compounds are molecules, but not all molecules are compounds. So now let's talk about the chemical. So what is a chemical? A chemical has a pretty simple meaning. A chemical is either an atom or a compound, or it could be anything. It could be an atom, an element, a compound, etc. So that is a chemical. So now we have something called valency, which is the process of mixing two elements together. So valency means that mixing two elements together, like I said. So for example, we have NaCl. So Na stands for sodium and Cl stands for chlorine. So this is valency, the process of mixing two elements together. The test fell out. So now let's talk about what is an ion. The charge that is, the charge that is there for an atom or a compound or anything is known as an ion. So, for example, you must have heard something like H plus or H minus. This is the example of an ion. Now, ions are classified into two types. Let's draw a little chart here. So, ions are classified into two types, based on form and based on charge. So, based on form includes, if you have been listening, atomic form and molecular form. So, atomic form, an example of atomic form is N plus or N minus or H plus, etc. And the molecular form means two chemicals. So, for example, NaCl minus or H2O minus, etc. So that is an ion based on form. Now you have an ion which is based on a charge. So an ion based on charge is basically divided into cation and anion. So cation means positive charge. For example, H plus, H2O plus, etc. And anion is a negative. So H minus or H2O minus, etc. So that is an ion. Okay, so now that we learned about some of the basic terminologies, let's learn about the periodic table itself. So I won't be going too deep and talking about every single element, so this is the periodic table, as you can see. So there are different types of metals in this, like alkali metals, alkaline metals, noble gases, etc. So let's talk about them. First we have alkaline. Let's have this, okay. So first we have alkaline metals. Like beryllium. Let's write down here. And there are a lot of these like alkaline metals or alkali metals, noble gases, like I said. So as you can see here, there are different elements divided for each of them. So for example, the color denoted kind of represents what we have here. So you have the red metals here and all the different types of alkali metals, alkaline metals, etc. So that is the periodic table of elements. Now you might have a question saying that, so if that's the case, then What are the examples of, mixing two elements? Like there should be solids, liquids and gases. So there must be some way to mix, two solids or two liquids, right? Well, there is an example. So alloys, as they call, are a mixture of two substances. So, for example, to make brass, you need copper and zinc. So, for example, for brass you need copper and zinc, which is the 29th and 30th periodic table of element. For making, mixing two cross like liquid and gas, like for example H2O, you have a liquid water and gas oxygen. So H2, which means two positive charges, two atoms of hydrogen plus oxygen. So that is, how we can mix two solids or two liquids, or just cross adding atoms, like for example adding a solid and a gas, or liquid or a solid, etc. So I might make more episodes on this, I don't know. If you guys want it, you can comment down below. So I kind of, glimpsed over what is a periodic table and how it works. It is just a table which consists of different types of elements in an order. So yeah, that is what, a periodic table is. So if you want more of this, comment down below. I might make another part of this. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out any new videos. And that's all folks, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.